Breakthrough 9 comes in 4 days. So in this video, I want to give you everything you need to know so you're fully prepared and you don't fall behind everyone else come the next breakthrough. I want to start off with the most important thing, gear, as gear rules all. At the end of the video, I will show you the best farming routes in the game. So come breakthrough 9, we'll be unlocking legendaries. Therefore, you want to make sure you keep all of these items that have a little gold icon at the bottom. Even the purple ones here are useful, as when you click on them, they have a chance to at least be purple or legendary. We want to start saving all these types of gears for when we eventually acquire legendary gear, as it's just skyrocket our power. What do legendaries do? They give you an extra passive here, meaning just more free damage, and they will also give us an additional upgrade, which translates into more mastery overall. So getting these as high as possible, as fast as possible, is crucial, not only for making the game more fun, but showing players why we're better than them. Something else you'll have to do is craft. We want to craft bows, especially the level 61, as this has a 3% chance to be gold. The same can be said for the thumb rings come next. Breakthrough will get a chance to get a gold thumb ring. Therefore, we want to start gathering the plants, the timber, and the beef tendons in order to craft these. Now, before you select the bow, each bow has its own passive ability, so just read these at your own will and decide which one is the best for your playstyle. But a pro tip here is some of these can be bought right now by a general goods vendor, which will reset on the day of the breakthrough. Therefore, I would recommend reading what you need, head over to the general good vendor and then buying up his stock. Old iron, this chlorite one, even a random melon that, hey, I'm a hungry gremlin and I could go for a melon right about now. He also sells fire arrows, buy these every week. Now, a lot of people are asking me, how many weapons can I use? Well, this is important, especially now, as next week we're going to be unlocking 70. And level 70 weapons, well, this is when it gets very expensive. So if you want to play multiple builds, you might have to actually wait, unless you've been farming like a total degen. As right now, from tier 5 to 6, it costs 18 tips. When it's going to be from tier 6 to 7, it might even be double that. I can't really remember. By the way, make sure you save your attunement stones that you get so you can quickly level up your legendaries to the max. Otherwise, you might be kicking yourself in the foot. Instead, I'd recommend using the arena tunes as a placeholder. You can't use these perks in PvE, but they will give you the same amount of mastery, so it is still free power. Why can we do this? Well, arena attunements are basically free, as they only cost us 10 adventure slips they acquired, plus these are locked behind a weekly reset again. Bonus tip, if you want to PvP, these are mandatory, completely overpowered in PvP, and if you're not using these, you will be gutting your build. A lot of people are going to ask me, well, what's the best thing to do with my energy before the next breakthrough? I'd recommend spending at least 150 to 200 energy before you log in next time. Why? This should give you enough time to be fully recharged while not wasting too much. I'd recommend prioritizing the Hero's Realm or Sword of Trial, as you want gear to be able to destroy or just roll these purple and gold icons so we can get really good legendary gear. The only exception for this rule would be if you still need ebony iron to upgrade our mystic skills. If you do so, farm these, but you should have enough by this point. I'll get into mythic skills later, as those are the most important thing for endgame at this moment, as those passives are busted. By the way, do your Hero's Realm, you can't save it as it will reset by the time we get the breakthrough, so you might as well run it. The same can be said for your guild breakthrough. If you don't know it, you can head over to Guild Hero's Realm and do a guild weekly with the homies. It has to be everyone within your guild. If you are interested in running this, join season at number 100-485-47. That's not my phone number, that's my guild, and we want you now. A quick tip for everyone who might have missed it, you head into your arsenal here and switch from Bell to General. This will lose me 200 mastery points. Translation, it's just free power. Who doesn't love free things? Enhancement is something you're going to want to focus on. Max this out this week, but come the next breakthrough, and when we get level 61 gear, this is going to get so expensive, even Jeff Bezos can't afford this. And the best part is you can prepare perfectly by going around to all the vendors and buying up all their goods. I would only do this if you have the money to spare. Focus on coarse fur and raw ore, as those are the two mandatory items. Buying crafts will also be able to be upgraded come Sunday. Therefore, make sure you are farming your grease like the greasy boy you are. If you don't know where these come from, by the way, just open up your map, click this little icon. This will allow you to mark whatever flowers you want. Bootier gives you fire. Vicious will give you poison, and Beauty Garment will give you water. Flow like water. By the way, these are the best source and our mystic skill fruits to upgrade them, such as Vicious Fruit. If we head over to our mystic skills, we will clearly see the cost increase. Now that's what I call inflation at its worst. Now I hate to say this, as it really does pain me, but brothers, you're gonna have to farm plants. I don't want to farm them. You don't want to farm them. Nobody wants to do the 9 to 5 after work. But if you want to upgrade all your mystic skills, you're going to have to farm these. And it's going to be hard. So here's the best tips I can give you. 1, make sure they're always marked on the map so you can easily find them when you go around and gather them. 2, multiplayer will have an online mode here. Your respawns are only 5 minutes, where in solo, they're 24 hours. Don't let anyone into your world that's trying to help you unless you know them, as they are probably there to steal your plants and ruin your day. And I don't want that happening to you. 3, come to this place on the map in Kaifeng and talk to my boy Stall. He will sell you chicken noodle soup, the best food in the entire game, both in real life and in game. Grant you a 20% chance for extra harvest from her gathering, saving you your mentality and your enjoyment of the game. This will allow you to get purple items faster. Now, something you may have missed is actually your shop. Go to items. Here you can buy 2 Ling Melodies every week for 400 Echo Jades. I love gambling as much as the next guy, and don't forget about this. You will regret it. Another fantastic way to get some Gamba items is coming here into Appearance and Exchange and scrolling down to the bottom and getting more lingering melodies. This will cost you, once again, an additional 200 Echo Jade. Only downside here is you will need 20,000 out of 20,000 Jade Fish. So here's a quick way to grab it if you haven't reached the cap yet and you're worried. Just do bounties. It's very simple. These will take you a couple minutes a pop, and it's 500 Jade Fish every time. So about 20 minutes and you should have about 5 to 10,000-ish. I'm not good at math. I'm not a math professor. Somebody can correct me down in the comments below. Something we'll be getting next week will be legendary chests. This will cost you 2,500 Jade Fish in total. Save some Jade Fish for next week so we can quickly buy up their entire stock and get ourselves some hands-on experience with some nice legendaries, as this allows us to choose our set, and that is completely broken. If you are confused now and what to get, I'll break down the order of importance. Profession, career notebooks, always grab these. Next up will be your inner way note chest, mandatory, mystic skill, life supply breakthroughs, must have. After this, martial art tips, small commerce box, and your oscillating jades would be the tier below that. Coin is going to be getting relatively rare. So when you're going around buying all your items, make sure you have a bit of coin left over. As come tuning with gold weapons, it's going to get relatively expensive, as you can see here. Just to upgrade this purple gear, it's 10,000 gold. Meaning next week, it's going to cost at least 80 grand alone just to upgrade gear. When you factor in other expenses such as crafting materials and buying things from the shop, you can load your load very quickly, as the biggest gold sink in the game is actually weapons. Costs money to upgrade. It starts off cheap at 800 at level 20, but by level 60, it's like 2,000 to 3,000 in upgrade. And when it goes from tier 6 to 7, bro, your bank account will be broken. So I'd recommend sitting on at least 3 to 500,000 gold come next breakthrough, so you're not locked in poverty. An event is here that you want to make sure you're completing, the lucky money. In the store, you'll be given a bunch of rewards. Lingering Melody and Inner Ways are always the top priority. But here, this actually doesn't expire next week. It expires in 14 days. This is just a reminder to make sure you are doing this. All you have to do is play a game like Liar's Dice, where you lock in, lie to your fellow human. It should be a normal day, so no problems there. Then just buy everything from the shop. This does not restock, by the way, so you just need to farm it once. Bonus tip, grab your dailies. I missed another one. I hate this game. Now let's talk about Inner Ways, as I still get questions about this. So let me break down some broken things. 1. Shadow Assault. You want this to be tier 3, as this gives you more loot. More loot, that's just my type of jam. So start saving your Shadow Assault notebooks. You can lock them with this icon in the top here, so you never accidentally make another happy accident. Another inner way you might be sleeping on is Insightful Strikes, completely broken for PvE endgame, and I find it to be relatively strong in PvP. Furry Harvest and Evasive Charge are two of the best currently PvP inner ways. If you are confused, this is what a lot of the top ranked players are playing, so you want to make sure you are saving these as well if you plan to PvP. Bonus tip, just come over to conversion. Here it'll tell you exactly which inner ways can be converted to what. This will allow you to choose which ones to save with a much clearer head than panicking and saving everything like me, as I have a hoarding problem. But something you should be getting on top of are your boss kills. Now, I'm a lazy guy, and I even haven't done this, but as we progress to endgames, the trials and raids will be getting more difficult. Therefore, doing this will become mandatory. This will give you 30% increased damage for completing a quest in a dungeon or trial. The best part about this is you can actually eliminate humans from the equation by coming over here and clicking Smart Assist. This will pair you up with AI, allowing you to do the mechanics at a much faster rate, as the AIs are honestly more human than human are. These are troubling times. Don't claim the rewards here, as they are trash. You're just here to do the quest. By the way, if you have a group of friends, you can hit group up here and see this setting icon. Click into this, and this will allow us to start the boss on phase 2, 3, depending on which mechanic we need to accomplish. This is a huge time saver if you have a group of friends, unlike me. Don't forget to do your daily sect bonuses or in the Janghu, as I have forgotten to do this again. This will unlock the Sect shop, which can then be further used to upgrade materials such as Buddha tears, way purple paninis, a skin, and just some good old drip. If you want to farm these, make sure you're staying on top of this, as I forget to do this all the time. Some of these are done in multiplayer and done solo. You can click this icon right here to re-roll it, allowing you to pick and choose which ones you want to do and which ones you want to avoid, like the plague. Another thing you may have forgotten to do is social activities. It's time to find a partner or just someone to get intimate with, as these are actually relatively hard to farm, as you only can get a bit per week. And something I'm not too interested in, but I know a lot of people like, getting down with the boys, as that will just give you more points such as harmony charms. Something that will be mandatory for next week will be Baji, the man at the top of Kaifeng, as he gives you one of the most overpowered passives in the entire game. And no, it's not damage or defense or health. It's loot, baby. As Music of Benevolence here will give you an additional 20% chance of attaining loot when challenging level 41 to 71 sword trial bosses. This is mandatory if you want to increase your chance at Gamba. Also, there's another one over here to the left that has another 20% of additional gear pieces when challenging mode campaign bosses. So before you do any more solo mode, come over here and grab this passive, and before you do any more dungeons, grab this one, as this is just free gear, and who doesn't love free things? I want to go over what mystic skills are best in the entire game so you don't waste your up. For PvE, all you need is 3 skills: Dragon's Breath, Poet, and Soaring Spin. Nothing else really matters for PvE. For PvP, you'll want Seasoned Breeze, Talon Strike, or Yaksa Rush. Leaping Toad is mandatory. Pair that with Meridian Touch are all essential for PvP. Your final slot down here is more of a flex spot, but I would recommend taking Free Morph for extender combos. Now you don't have to run this. There are other options such as Ghostly Steps. It's totally up to you and your playstyle. For our first farming method, come over here to the east side of Kaifeng, and you'll see this little outpost here on the right side. Here you'll want to build a massive tower. Now I have jump pads because I'm special, and I didn't know you had free camera. In order to unlock this, click the little squiggly line here, and this will enable free camera, allowing you to move freely around your construction. Well, why are we here? Well, because we're about to farm a lot of mobs for free. Use Fire Breath like this to blow up that barrel. This will end up killing all the enemies. You can then run around and quickly grab the loot like so. Then get back inside our stone and use our flight mode all the way up to the top and wait for it to go 1, 2, and then jump down like so, and the enemies will respawn. Then use fire again. Free farm, free loot. Honestly, it's my birthday, boys. By the way, how high do you have to make this? About 25 to 30-ish walls high. It seemed to work for me. This farming road is cracked, energy, but we do need a few things before we start it. Mystic skills that we will need: Veil of Stillness, Sneaky Beaky mode, and Binding Mist. Just in case we get rediscovered, we can go back into stealth. Also, you may have to level up Touch of Death, your assassination move, if you are not one-shotting the enemy. Finally, we'll need one inner way. That is the Shadow Assault, something I've mentioned earlier, as this will give us more loot when killing our target. Now travel over to the Granary aplenty, as here there is plenty of loot for us to take. Here, just walk up behind them, quickly assassinate them with a couple backhands like Will Smith, blue lock and gold, everything we need to become more powerful. Just continue through the outpost by killing them. And if you do get discovered, they will sound the horn, making this much more difficult. Therefore, remain in stealth. You'll want to do it in a 360 like this. Leave no survivors, as just one is missing out on some free real estate. This farming route is even more broken than the last. Click Quest, head over to Beauty in the Shade, and then hit Return to Coin. If you don't have this, I will showcase how to grab this at the end of the video so you can get the best farming route in the entire game. But while we are here, you'll see a multitude of enemies. Therefore, before we head inside, make sure you equip a healing item like a fan, as you'll be taking a lot of damage. Here you'll want to run through the entire village like so to pull all the enemies. Once you get them in a beautiful location like this, just circle them in, pop your healing fan, jump up into the air, hit 1, then hit the Buddha clap. This is for massive AoE, stunning the enemy. I also recommend using fire, as it's just so broken. Then use strategic sword to dash in and out of the area and just do massive damage. And then just repeat this until everything is pretty much burnt to ash. And then just loot up all the bodies. This will give you lots of ointment and pine resins while giving you gear. Yes, you can get gear in this farming route, meaning if you are out of energy, this is the best place to go in the entire game to get some free gear. Make sure you never complete this quest, so never leave the ninja village, as you will not have access to this farming route anymore. In order to leave, click the little exit button at the top, hit space, and we're out. And now we can re-enter whenever we want. So let me break down how to get this farming location so you don't miss out on some of the best goods you've ever seen. The first thing you want to do is come to this location on your map. Here there'll be 2 NPCs talking, say hello, then you want to head over to this card and exhaust the dialogue. Once you've exhausted dialogue, we gotta go kill some forts. The Gourmand Grove, the Buddha Fort, and then finally we'll have to kill the fort, the Tiger Fort, as we are a kitty hater. Afterwards, come back to the Court of San Van. Keep talking until you get a headache so bad, not even Tylenol can cure it. After waking up from the cat's betrayal, you'll be in a new zone with infinite respawning enemies. If you guys did enjoy the video, it would mean a lot to me. Hit that like button, subscribe. You can join the Brotherhood, join our guild, or just check out this next video if you are interested in more tips or tricks.